Do you think that's a typical Hollywood thing, to put the cart before the horse type of thing, and say, oh yeah, we're doing this, and we have this person attached and all this?
Yeah,
and then
I think so.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I don't like being that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where your Bay Area roots come in? I'm sorry,
I guess
very
so,
Bay Area
yeah.
snob. Sorry. I can say that because I'm from the Bay Area.
See,
yeah.
why are you gonna call me out like that?
Sorry, I'm from the Bay Area too. So, but I see that a lot though, and I think that's where Hollywood gets that bad name, is that, oh yeah, we're doing this and doing that, and then
nothing. Yeah.
People like to talk.
Yeah.
A lot.
And I really believe people like to talk, and I don't know. I've just made it a goal not to be like that.
So when you know that you have something in the works, do you kind of keep it under wraps for a little bit?
Yes.
Keep it yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Have it on the to-do list?
Yeah.
And then...
It's like that whole thing of like, don't tell God your plans kind of thing.
No, yeah.
Oh, right.
Or else you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. That's a Pinterest pin, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like I like that. It's a variation
It's a Pinterest
on
pin.
Yeah.
I also bought a frame from Etsy that had that. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it is my past experience that if I've gotten too excited about a project, or I did put the horse before the cart or whatever,
Cart before the horse.
cart before the horse, yes, then I have been burned. Just whatever cosmically, it just happened that way. And so, I'm a little older, a little more experienced, and so I'm a little more reserved. I want to make sure things are good.
In order for acting, do you do that, or are you the first one on Facebook to just say, wow, just ace this audition?
Nope, I loathe and despise that. I will say that without a flinch. I hate it when people do that with such a fiery passion. It's just so, no. Part of it is, and there's a multiple thing, obviously from my own personal dislike of it, then there's also, I have very little faith in anything I've ever done. So I walk out of the room.
I know that.
Yeah, he knows. He's like, it was funny. The first thing he said when he saw me a couple days ago, he's like, I don't have time for your insecurities right now. Can I unpack first? As soon as I walk out of the room, I forget it ever happened. And when I work on projects, I tell very, very few people some of the things I get excited about because of, I feel like, yeah, maybe it's from my upbringing, my mom or something, but I say too many things that I'm excited or happy about, and then all these people will hear it and they don't like that, and then I feel like there's like going to be a negative energy that's going to just throw it to the ground. So I'll tell certain people who I know have nothing but the best of intentions and hopes for me. So I worked on something I'm not gonna explain, but I told Chad I was really excited about it, and he's like one of the 3 people I've told, because I'm hoping that it comes out the way it should. Because I know Chad's not going to be like, oh, really? Screw you. So I definitely keep things under the wraps unless, it's very insignificant. But if it's meaningful to me, I will not talk about it until it's done and it comes out.
And that's your rule as well?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good rule.
Yeah.
A lot of haters out there.
There is a lot of haters out there. That's the sad thing.
Like to bring you down.
Well, also, I get superstitious. I can't tell you how many times I've told someone about an interview that's going to happen, and then the rug's pulled out. So I just, I play by the same.
I find it's easier if you don't set up expectations for other people, then you have to answer for yourself or explain yourself a lot less.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. So I know of a couple friends who they would tout about things and opportunities coming up that were big maybes. And then they tell 100 people, and then when it invariably doesn't happen, then you have to explain 100 times why it didn't, and each time it's got to suck worse than the one before it. So I just avoid all that.
So if you know there's a hater in your life, maybe someone close to you, maybe not, what do? How do you treat it? Just, you know that whatever you tell them, they're going to be the doubting Thomas?
I keep my mouth closed the entire time. I just don't, I try to keep those people out of my close circle of communication. Like, honestly, if someone's going to be that negative to me, I've gotten to the point in my life that I have a lot of friends, and if you're going to be really crappy, I kind of don't need you around. So I try to surround myself with supportive people, but then it's not so much when I'm saying that I keep things under wraps because of negative energy. It's people don't intend to do it. They don't seek out saying, I wish you bad. It's just when they hear it, they say, there's just inherent jealousy sometimes.
Sure.
So I try to avoid personally those obviously negative Nancys, or however the term that you put it was.
Doubting Thomas.
Doubting Thomas. I like that. So, but I don't know about you, Chad.
Well, there's that too for me, but a little bit too is like if you say something too early, it's almost as if the excitement of whatever it is might just, it sometimes kills my excitement, you know, in leading up to it. I don't want to be like, hey, I'm writing season 2, and then like, oh, that's great, that's exciting, and then I'm like, it's not that exciting. That makes probably no sense, but I'm just saying, it's also one aspect of it.
It's like it
makes total sense.
You fired off all the energy to do it in talking about doing it, and then it's like, I kind of don't feel like writing it anymore, actually. So I like the idea of writing it, just don't feel like doing it now.
Is that a form of controlling?
Maybe.